The Italian F4 Championship returns here this weekend to Misano to race number 3 of the weekend. The Italian F4 Championship. This should be good. Gabriel Gomez, so importantly, last time out, race number 2, when we last went racing for the Italian F4 Championship, sadly, did not make it past, well, even the formation lap. He ended up stopping on the circuit. And that's what was earlier on today. Let's take a listen to Laura Cola.
For the final.
Yeah, it was a difficult first race, struggled a bit with the grip, but I think now it's a new chance and we'll just give everything. Just have to be a bit careful that nothing happens considering tomorrow's race 3. So, yeah.
Thank you.
That is Saito. They're having a chat to Laura Cola here, but again, Gabriel Gomez did not even make it past the formation lap before he stopped on the circuit. If the Bathurst 1000 was anything to go by, we've got a exciting Italian F4 race still to come for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you caught it over on Twitch, it was a nail-biter, the best Bathurst 1000 we've had in ages, which is why there is nearly a 2-hour delay to this race, and the reason why we sit 2 hours behind schedule. But it really shouldn't matter, as this is the last race of the weekend.
For this race, I'm hoping to have a good start. Be clean for the first lap. Find your position, and then I think we can start pushing and find some position towards the race, and maybe at the end we can get a good result. Good luck. Thank you.
Representing the Driver Academy, Niccolo Macagnani. It is not his first Formula 4 race. He's already won in the Asian Series at Sepang in Malaysia, but his first run in the Italian Series, not a bad start to his Italian F4 career. He starts a row behind Dante Vinci on the 7th row of the grid. There is Gabriel Gomez. If you're just joining us, King Nakamoto Berta has been crowned champion, courtesy of 2 podiums earlier in the day. Gabriel Gomez will start from pole position. He lapped fastest yesterday, 24 hours ago, almost to the minute, when he took pole position with a 1:35.577. Rolled to a stop heartbreakingly on the formation lap before the start of race 2 this morning. Alternator failure, but gets his chance at redemption. Sebastian Weldon has won both of his first 2 races as the 1-minute board goes up. So Sebastian virtually guaranteed pole position for race 4 tomorrow. But then there is the actual series final at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The final race of the 12th season of the world's most competitive junior car racing series, the Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion, together with the Automobile Club of Italy. The first round was held here over the first weekend of May at Misano, and this is the series final as the 30-second board goes up. We take a look at the grid. It is Menino do Brasil. Gabriel still fighting for second in the series. Salim Hanna, Newman Chi, and Lucas Samalisto. Andrea Dupé, P6 this morning for the French rookie. Alexander Bondarev, Kabir Anurag. Watch the Singaporean off the start. And Rito Francot from the Netherlands. The PHM Racing out of grid 8. Olivieri, one of 5 Italians in the field. Mark Nasata, we just heard from the Norwegian. He splits the RHGP drivers. Alexander Savinkov and the Australian Dante Vinci. Jan Koller for us, racing from the Czech Republic. We just heard from Niccolo Macagnani from Rome. Bart Harrison, fresh off the podium in the GB3 series, starting alongside Elia Weiss. Andrea Kostic, Ludovico Busto, the Sicilian, Andy Consani, Teo Schroff from Argentina. Ari Barnsell, newly crowned GB4 champion. Oscar Repetto, the New Zealander. Then it's Bader Al-Salati from Qatar, the Israeli Guy Albag. Great run in the first race this morning. The driver from Tel Aviv, starting ahead of David Walter. Antonio Ianigo in the second Techno race competition car. Nicolas Cortes, the Mexican, and then yet another German, Phil Collins Strange. Cornelia Olkutska, one of 4 drivers fighting for the women's trophy. Car 91 starts out of grid 29. Coming through Tramonto Corner, which literally translates as Sunset Corner, and that magnificent shot explains exactly why it has been titled thus. This is the Misano Adriatic Circuit. Marco Simoncelli, home of the Italian MotoGP. Reno Francotte going through. So Gabriel Gomez, no problem this time. He has dropped to third in the championship. Kim Nakamura Berta has Alexander Savinkov. He had a wild ride this morning. He's on track in car 52. Kim Nakamura Berta, 322 points. Cannot be beaten for the title. Sebastian Weldon, 225. And Gomez on pole position. As you look at Marcus, check out the helmet from the Norwegian. Gomez 216 points, Salim Hanna 148, Newman Chi 130, and Max Popov 6th in the series on 129 points.
Yes, of course, Maximilian Popov so close to a win in both races. There, Salim Hanna and Alexander Bondarev, as well is Maximilian Popov. He sits 4th in this race. Salim Hanna up there. But these two, Ki Nakamura Berta and Gabriel Gomez, how good would it have been if we saw these two battle it out in race number 2 for the championship? But Ki Nakamura Berta can no longer be beaten. He leads the championship by 91 points. It's been domination so far this year from Gomez. And he's very much saw that there as Alzotti, as well, the delivery of Qatar Motorsports Academy on the car this weekend. Here, there is Gabriel Gomez sitting on the left-hand side. I would say this is going to be a championship battle, but there is no championship battle to worry about. As Mario Valentini in the commentary box, and Silvestri as well. We are on for the lights, up on the gantry, five red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. The two championship rivals, 1 and 2, but no longer. Ki Nakamura Berta wraps it up. Last time out, Gabriel Gomez takes the lead into turn number 1. Beautiful start. Ki Nakamura Berta slots into 2. And Salim Hanna in P3. Alexander Bondarev right around the outside. Maximilian Popov there as well. Car going off and cutting the chicane. Very, very critical chicane. Is what it is for the Italian F4 Championship. As the cars run through now, there is Alexander Bondarev making his way through. As the cars, so far, so good. Not a bad start from Gabriel Gomez, the Brazilian driver. Salim Hanna up into position 2. He takes that position off of Newman Chi. And there's been a problem for Ki Nakamura Berta, who's dropped further back down the grid than what we're expecting. Ki Nakamura Berta has not got off the grids. Lucas Samalisto, it's saying on our timing screens, he's not popped up in second position. He's dropped all the way back on the grids. This is a huge problem. And there's a car off, possibly as gravel gets kicked up. But Gabriel Gomez, how unlucky he was. Because Ki Nakamura Berta is not popping up on our timing screens. He certainly is not. I cannot see him on the standings heading in on right here in race number 3. He's not popping up. This is very much a huge problem here as the cars make their way now through the right-hander. This long right-hander. Or what doesn't feel like. Turn 14 now. Cars filing through. Cars off the road. Abusing all the track limits there. It's a final lap 1. But as you get into a rhythm in this race, which of course is a sprint race, so there's not much time to get a rhythm. It's all about making positions, and that's hard in these Italian F4 cars. To even make a position, car spinning in the background, and that is, I think that's very much what Salim Hanna there, as Bondarev and Popov side by sides. Where is our championship leader? Where is our championship leader here? Nakamura Berta has not popped up. And, oh, that's right. So he's not in this race. Okay. That's completely refreshed to me. There we go. So, Ki Nakamura Berta is not in this race. So there you go. That confirms. So he's not in this one. Ki Nakamura Berta, of course, he wrapped the championship up last round. So, of course, he will be in the final a bit later on today for whoever scores the most points. As side by side now, Salim Hunter and Gabriel Gomez as they make their run now out through Sunset Corner and into the hairpin right corner, right-hander. And Salim Hunter keeps that position. Newman Chi, Salim Hunter, the leader of the rookies. Newman Chi looking to take that rookie lead. Not going to happen, though. The top three, though, in for a battle. The RSGP team hoping to hold off these two feisty Prema drivers. And, of course, another RSGP car behind, of which is Lucas Samalisto, who can easily take these positions away and take the lead. Samalisto, speaking of him, 1:37.4. He set the fastest lap of this race. And he'll be applying the pressure to his fellow rival of Newman Chi, who sits at the moment in position 3. Salim Hunter in position 2. And Gabriel Gomez, who lost the championship last time out. And now he'll be wanting to try and gain back as many points as possible, even though he's out of the championship fight. Kai Anurag covering off Olivieri, who sits in position 8. Bart Harrison in behind there as well. Car 16 in the box. And what seems to be a puncture, so getting a brand new right rear tyre on that car. Yellow flag out in Sector 2. That has cleared. That is Teo Schropp, sadly, though, out of this race or spinning. Gomez, actually not fastest. It's Lucas Samalisto, fastest down that back straight by 2 kilometers an hour. That's a big gap when you're speaking of no DRS, no push to pass. That's just genuinely the slipstream and how overpowered it is when you don't break it. It's just extremely overpowered up to some point, and that is Teo Schropp right off the road. No grip out there in that gravel. Teo Schropp in the Genza Motorsport car off the road. 20 minutes to go here in the Italian F4 Championship race number 3. Final race of the group stages, as applying the pressure to what is Newman Chi in position 3. And then Lucas Samalisto. Kostic has just set the fastest lap of the race, 1:37.2. The Marina Bay driver sitting in position 10, putting the pressure on the American driver of Bart Harrison, who sits in position 10 at the moment. Savinkov loses the spot and moves himself down into position 14 in this race. Gomez is just slightly pulled away, a margin 0.5 of a second. Of course, normally we would have running the Italian GT Championship, but this weekend that is not happening. This weekend it is all about the Italian F4 Championship, the main race this weekend. Bit of lap traffic up in front. Unsure to who that is. Probably a car that boxed for a new front wing. Gomez leads, though. He's out the front by 0.6 of a second. 1.1 seconds back. Newman Chi. Lucas Samalisto in position 4. And then Alexander Bondarev in P5. Andrea Charles Dup in P6. Kyanrag, Olivieri, Bart Harrison, and Kostic in position 10. That rounds out your top 10. Newman Chi being the pressure applied to... Newman Chi having the pressure applied. Sorry. This is not Newman Chi. This is Savinkov. Further back down the grid, we now cut back to our race leaders. This, Salim Hunter, Newman Chi, and Lucas Samalisto. He's Kai Anurag is just at the fastest lap of the race. The Alpine Academy driver for the US Racing, 1:37.1. Fastest lap of the race. He sits down in P7, 2.8 seconds off the lead. That's actually not too bad in terms of how sort of just slightly spread out the field is. Gomez leads by 0.7 of a second with 17 minutes and 50 seconds to go, plus 1 lap.
Scarapetto does do the right thing. The blue flag, and the Cram Motorsport driver pulls to the left side of the circuit. In car 16, 29 drivers taking the start. They're still on circuit, needing every point. A DNF is unacceptable because there are 8 drivers who will miss tomorrow morning's final. 44 drivers, as we see Arnoldak still defending from Olivieri. Now the Italian cuts back on the inside. They'll go wheel to wheel down the back straight, through Cortavone, through the flat out 230 km/h curve. Samalisto does likewise. He gets the toe. Anorak holding off Olivieri Samalisto on the back of Newman Chi, who's in position 3, slides and defends at the same time. Samalisto fastest on track, set the fastest lap of the race this morning. He's in P4, one step off the podium. His teammate Gabriel Gomez still fighting for the title of vice champion of the Italian Series for 2025. He leads as Samalisto goes wide, as does Anurag in the background, which will give Olivieri in car 68 the opportunity to pass the Singaporean. Also was on the grid 6 days ago at Donington, making his Formula 3 Spec debut in the GB3 Series. Anurag, Olivieri, and Bart Harrison, the Englishman. There's the Serbian. Kostic, Frankot, Sata, Konsani, Sabinkov. Andy going through the Mercedes AMG Junior, the French driver in the Italian Series. Still the South Americans 1 and 2. The field go down into Tramonto Sunset Corner. This is turn 10. Going on to the back straight, Alexander Bondarev, the Williams Junior, former WSK kart racing champion, former European champion, outright race winner at Imola before the summer break. Key year for the Ukrainian. As we see Samalisto gets a really good run here on the back of Newman Chi. Watch the Chinese driver defend to the inside. Luca on the outside will try and cut back. Nice defense from Newman Chi. And Samalisto now under attack from Alexander Bondarev. The red and white cars are absolutely ubiquitous inside the top 5. Top 6 in fact, but Gomez still holds the race lead for us racing by 7/10 of a second. Back to Hunter. Newman Chi. Luca has a look down the inside into turn 1. Sends it to Samalisto. Newman Chi runs wide, gives the Finn some space. Holds on to P3. Watch Bondarev in the background. Locks up the left front, now tries the outside. Needs to be careful because here comes Bondi, the Williams Academy driver. Now gets the run on the back of the Finn for us racing. Newman Chi incredibly still holds P3. The race leader at the bottom left of your screen, Gomez, Hanna, and then the fight for the final step of the podium. Luca goes in very deep into La Quercia. Coming out of turn 8, up into Sunset Corner, up into Tramonto. Tight line, defends, locks up, sends it down the inside. Will be slow on the exit, but he's got track position. Now let's see the response from Newman Chi and Bondarev and Andrea Dupé as well. Samalisto goes through P3 provisionally. He's in the podium positions at the moment. Right behind him, a trio of cars from Vicenza. The red and white machines, Bondarev, Chi, and Andrea Dupé. The first of which is the Ukrainian, now defending from Newman, who drops back and goes wide. Anurag is right there as well. The Singaporean won't need to be asked twice to attack. Very close between the two teammates. And now over the ripple strip, running wide, Andrea Dupé. Anurag on the outside, Olivieri, Harrison. That's Bart. The Englishman, contact between Olivieri. Front riding to left rear, turns the Singaporean around. Kabir Anurag, who was fighting inside the top 5. Contact with the Italian, who has continued on. Anurag will drop down the order though. Incredibly, the car is still straight. We'll try and get a replay of what happened here it is, just a few moments ago. On the outside, tried to hold the line. Slight contact with Olivieri. Bart Harrison slips on by and takes the both of them. As does Andrea Kostic. Frankot. Olivieri still in P10. Anurag has dropped down to 23rd position. Bart Harrison now inside the top 10. Car 77 in position 7 for the Jensen Motorsport team. Gomez continues to lead. The gap goes out to 1 second to Salim Hanna. And Samalisto on the podium in 3rd place, halfway through the 3rd race of the weekend. This is Luca. Bondarev, Dupé, Chi, and Bart Harrison. We are being told that Phil Strange has been given the mechanical defect flag as Reno Francot in 69, just ahead of Olivieri. This is Kostic in car 4 behind Bart Harrison. Deep under brakes goes Bart. GB3 podium 6 days ago, as we say, at Donington. Almost certainly this is his final race in the Italian F4 Championship. Kabir Anurag down into pit lane, and the Singaporean has retired. So Gomez with the race lead still. This is Olivieri, still trying to attack. We go into the final 10 minutes of the race. This is Reno Francot. Still inside the top 10. This is top 4, Kabir Anurag. He is thus far the sole retirement from this, the third of 5 races here. Andrej Kostic has had a great 2025. Inside the top 10 at the moment is the Serbian behind Bart Harrison. Kostic in P8. Olivieri still in the race in P10 from Sato Konsani. Sabinkov, Weiss. Elia from Aus, Munchen I should say. One of multiple drivers from Germany in the field. But Gabriel Gomez still holds the race lead from Salim Hanna. This is Kostic. Reno Francot, who took victory in the E4, the Euro Series of Paul Ricard in the south of France. But the Serbian in P8 holds off the Dutchman for the moment. His teammate Luca Samalisto goes on through. Still the race lead held by the South Americans. It is the Brazilian from the Colombian, both former WSK champions. We've spoken about in the past or during the season, Salim Hanna winning the WSK Open Cup as he goes very wide into the grass coming onto the straight. 2022 for the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. A fantastic victory in OK Junior. And now he runs second outright and top rookie in race 3, the final round of the Italian F4 Championship. And yes, goes fastest with a 1:36.425. The gap, 0.6 of a second. Gomez, who was heartbreakingly denied a start in the second race this morning. Alternator failure on the formation lap. Started from pole position for this race. He's got the race lead now from Salim Hanna. And now the sun starting to set as they go into sunset. Tramonto corner. The shadows getting longer. Gomez with the race lead, 0.6 of a second. This is lap 11. Gomez, Samalisto going through. Salim Hanna, fastest lap of the race, but has just lost 0.1 of a second that time round. Of course, still fighting for vice champion title Sebastian Weldon looking good is the American after taking his 5th victory this morning. Gomez across the line. Starts lap 12 in position 1. Summer list of Luca in P3. Bondrev, Dupé. And once again, Luca goes fastest, his 2nd fastest lap of the day. With a 36.379. At the moment, the Finn on the podium. Wide in the background, Andrea Kostic still holding on to position 8 from Reno Franco. Olivieri still inside the top 10 from Marcos Sata. Down into La Puerta, the 2 leaders, the 2 South Americans, and then the Finn from opposite ends of the planet. They go 1, 2, 3. Bondarev, Ukrainian, Andrea Dupé on the rookie podium once again. Ahead of his Prema Racing teammate Newman Chi in P6, Bart Harrison. 77 for Gensa Motorsport in position 7. A lock up into turn 10 from Newman Chi in car 28 as they race down the back straight on lap 12, race 3 of 5 here this weekend, the final round of the 2025 Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion together with the Automobile Club of Italy. If you're just joining us, Kim Nakamura Berta coming home in P3 this morning in the 2nd race of 5 this weekend, has been crowned the 12th ever champion. The first driver from Japan to win the world's most competitive GT car racing series. Sebastian Weldon winning races 1 and 2. Gomez out on the formation lap of race 2 this morning with alternator failure, but he leads after starting from pole position as the shadows get longer here at Circuito Marco Simoncelli, simply known as Misano on Italy's Adriatic coast. Franco goes through from the top Italian, Emanuele Olivieri. Harrison is actually closing up to the back of not only Newman Chi but Andrea Dupé as well. This is Franco from Olivieri. Now Gomez responds, gets some revenge. This super talented Brazilian, 3rd in the World Kart Racing Championships for the CRG Racing Team 2 seasons ago. Season in the Spanish F4 Series. Formula Winter Series champion. Trying to at least finish as P2, runner-up vice champion of the Italian Series. So after a frantic start, the field go down the back straight. Just the sole retirement. Kabir Anorak, that will make it tough for the Singaporean. Will be relying on DNFs and points just to make it through to tomorrow morning's final. 36 of the original 44 drivers to race in the final. There's Bart Harrison in the background, closing in on the back of Newman Chi. Back to Kostic, Franco, Olivieri. Still inside the top 10 is the top Italian. Chi on the back of Andrea Dupé, P5 in car 5 and 3rd in the rookie race. The driver from France, now living in Milan, in the north of Italy, starting with a 36.367. Hasn't given up hope of taking a victory here. Leading the rookie championship race as well is the Colombian. A look down the inside though. Andrea Dupé, P5. Excellent weekend thus far for the young French driver. Sami Mahana closes in slightly on Gabriel Gomez. And now the fight between the 2 Prema teammates. Watch Bart Harrison in the background. He's closing in on the back of Newman Chi. The English Gensa Motorsport driver is catching both the Prema Racing rookies. On your screen, Dupé, car 5. Chi in 28. He was running P3 earlier in the race, but Bart Harrison is catching the both of them. Gomez now puts the lead back out to 0.8 of a second. Hana Samalisto currently on the podium. Bondarev, and then the fight between the 2 teammates, Dupé and Newman Chi. Bart Harrison desperate to drag himself into this battle as well. Here comes the Brit, here comes the Englishman for the Swiss Gensa Motorsport team. Bart Harrison has closed right up onto the back of Andrea Dupé. The Frenchman has been trying to get by his Chinese Prema Racing teammate, unaware that the driver on your screen, Bart Harrison, has caught him. The Englishman is flying down into turn 1. The gap just 0.3 of a second. Gomez still holding 0.6 of a second. There is Kostic in the background, still ahead of Franco and Olivieri. Gomez still ahead of Hanna. This is Newman Chi going through. Down into La Huerta, Gomez, Hanna, they disappear at the bottom of your screen as Salim locks up. Samalisto Bondrev. Newman Chi and Andrea Dupé. Gomez gets on the power as they go up the back straight. On lap 15, we've had clean races thus far this weekend. No safety car interventions. And boy, that is something of a relief to say after some very hectic races thus far in the 12th season of the Italian F4 Championship. Bondarev, a step off the podium at the moment, he is the Williams junior driver. Salim Hanna, still behind Gomez. Samalisto, car 7 for Us Racing. They're currently first and third.
Gomez still surprisingly leading this one by 0.6 of a second. He starts the second final lap of this race. Salim Hanna, though close in behind. He's just at the fastest lap of the race, the Brazilian, 136.261, 158 kilometers an hour down that front straight as he makes his run into turn at number 4 and 5 into Sunset Corner. This is for Salim Hanna and Gabriel Gomez. Salim Hanna clear by 4 seconds of the next rookie driver that sits in position number 3 in this race. The clock ticks down. We sit at 0 seconds in this race. And Gomez next time around will be starting the final lap of this one. Salim Hanna close in behind, 0.8 the margin. There's nothing in it between the two. There, nothing in it whatsoever. And Salim Hanna 2.3 seconds back. Sorry, 3.1 seconds back that margin. Very, very close at the front end of this one. But as you heard there in Silvestri, Ian said, no safety cars so far this weekend. There's the yellow flag out. But luckily we head on to the final lap of this race. And the yellow flag has now been cleared. But we head on to the final lap of this race. Gomez will take this circuit one last time. 3.2 kilometers of circuit. And 13 corners of racetrack. Of course, Misano, home to the Adriatic coast of the MotoGP World Championship. Not the home, but of course, MotoGP raced here many, many years. For many, many years. They still race here. And it is probably the best event of the year. One that many fans come to. Of course, no Italian GT this weekend. Italian F4, the main host of this Misano circuit this weekend. Salim Hanna close in behind in second. The margin is less than 0.5 of a second. Actually, less than half a second within the last few corners. He's closed the gap, but I don't think it is going to be good enough as they head into Sunset Corner for the final time for Gabriel Gomez on the exit. Only if he could have done this just literally 10 hours ago when we last went racing for the Italian F4 Championship. If he could have done this, but sadly he stopped on the formation lap. Couldn't even make it to the grid. But the Brazilian driver is about to come home in position number 1. That's what you like to hear. Salim Hanna having one last attempt and one last crack, but he runs it in a bit deep, which will affect his exit speed. But Gabriel Gomez will hold on as he makes his run to the final corner, and it's less than 300 meters to the line. Gabriel Gomez, don't run it out now. Gomez, the Brazilian driver, wins the Italian F4 Championship. But sadly doesn't win the championship either. And, well, that went to King Nakamura last time out. But what a race from Group A and Group C for the Italian F4 Championship. What a race, what a weekend we have had for the Italian F4 Championship. Still 2 races to come, a 5-race weekend. It certainly should be good. But Gomez wins race number 3.
Day on the Thursday of the Barcelona round. Still the fight for second in the championship remains on. He took pole position yesterday. Victories to Sebastian Weldon in races 1 and 2 this morning. He moved to second in the series. But now Gabriel Gomez has jumped back in front. Kim Nakamura Berta is the champion for 2025. But we are still to decide the title of vice champion of the Italian series here this weekend at Misano. Gabriel Gomez takes the win. The gap was only half a second at the race end as Salim Hanna did close up. Andy Consani going through, came home in position 12. This is the race winner. Trying to get every possible bit of pickup on those tyres as he makes his way back to the pits. Just drive it through the grass, Gabriel. That'll do the job. If only George did that at Spa not so long ago. Not much debris on the circuit though. He is picking up most of it. All that he can, even sucking it into the side pods. His teammate just behind us racing 1-3. Lucas Samalisto, credit to the Finn, who comes home on the podium in 3rd place. Gabriel Gomez takes victory in race 3. Salim Hanna home in 2nd place. The South Americans 1-2. And Lucas Samalisto for us racing 1 and 3. Alexander Bondarev second in the rookie race from Newmanchi. Another great drive from Andrea Dupe. Bart Harrison, position 7 in car 77 from Andrea Kostic, Rino Francot, and the top Italian Emanuele Olivieri, who survived that contact with Kabir Anurag, the Singaporean, the sole retirement. Sata Consani, Savinkov, David Walter, unseen on screen, but comes home 14th from Bader Al-Salati, who's had an excellent 2025. Vinci Busso Cortez, Gael Bag, position 19, Kola, Alia Weiss, Teo Schropp, who was in the gravel earlier on, Erigo Okutska, Strange.
So there you go, there are the championship standings after this round. It is Kinaka Moberta who's won the championship, but that battle 16 points, Gabriel Gomez to Sebastian Weldon. Thomas Dotramanes sitting in 11th, Reno Francot, Bart Harrison, a few big names up there. But now, let's now celebrate the podium. We're going to get some interviews with Lara Cola and Gabriel Gomez, your race winner. And of course, the one and only podium for the Italian F4 Championship. Enjoy.
Obrigado, Gabri. He takes victory. And the long line of Brazilian racing drivers. Sì, ha fatto già. Yes, the long line of Brazilian racing drivers continues. Remember the name Gabriel Gomez. Hopefully has found a drive for next year. His teammate, Lucas Samalisto, car 7, comes home in P3. Salim Hanna, El Colombiano, home in 2nd place. And the top rookie, O Menino do Brasil, Gabriel Gomez from Florianopolis, takes victory in A versus C. Race 3 in front of his parents. That was nice to see just a few moments ago. Gabriel Gomez wins here and he's down in pit lane, about to speak with Laura Cola.
So, from the bottom to the top on the same day, a well-deserved victory maybe a small consolation from a championship perspective.
Yeah, I mean, after this morning was a bit sad with the technical issue in the first race. Was a bit unexpected for me, for the team, for everyone. So we worked really well during the whole week. I think we showed every session we have a great pace, and yesterday quali with a really good pace during the quali, and then today in the race as well. Unfortunately, we couldn't make the first race, but I think now the team deserved the results a lot because they worked really hard during the whole week to find a good car, and then I feel bad for everyone, for me and for the team with the problem this morning. But now we show in the track again we can fight there for the wins. We have the pace, and I'm really happy with this. So now it will be a little bit more difficult in the final. We're starting a bit behind, but we will try everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The highlights of race 3, Gabriel Gomez on pole position, got a perfect getaway, and the South Americans who started on the front row of the grid went 1-2 down into the S's in the opening stages of the third of 5 races here this weekend. Good start from Lucas Samalisto, splitting the 4 Prema Racing Team drivers again. Kabir Anorag with a storming start as Lucas Samalisto going on through. Gomez under pressure early from Salim Hanna, but withstood the challenge from the Colombian as the field raced out of La Huerta into Sunset Corner. Young Pola being helped around by one of the RSGP drivers. Samalisto going on through, took him 3 attempts, but the Finn finally up into 4th place and then P3. The send, the lock up from Luca. This was the move that put the Finn up onto the podium. 3 Prema Racing drivers just behind them. This, Olivieri and Kabir Anorag making contact. The Singaporean did retire. Olivieri home critically in P10. But Gabriel Gomez, galera do Brasil, assistindo essa vitória é para vocês. Gabriel Gomez vence aqui em Italy. Parabéns, Gabriel Gomez. Essa para vocês, galera do Brasil. So much support. Great to have you watching on from South America. His teammate from Finland, the other end of the earth, Lucas Samalisto, comes home in 3rd place. Salim, the Colombian, Hannah Hernandez in P2 and with the rookie victory. Consolation, as you heard, after missing at race 2. But Gabriel Gomez wins race 3 for the US Racing Team, who go 1-3 here this afternoon. Mr. Tiro Sessa, representing the Automobile Club of Italy, presenting a well-deserved 3rd place trophy to Luca, 2nd to Salim, who honestly must have got another inch taller since Barcelona. And Gabriel Gomez from Florianopolis, vence aqui in Italy. A national anthem we've heard at football stadiums around the world and on Formula One Grand Prix circuits. We hear it once again, the national anthem of Brazil for the victory of Gabriel Gomez. It's the 3rd of
Gabriel Gomez. Absolutely bravo in Brazilian. Bravo, Gabriel Gomez, who takes the win here this weekend at the Misano World Circuit. Of course, this weekend we have TCR Italy, the Touring Car Championship of Capondino, Italiano Sport Prototipo, in the Porsche Cup Italia. this weekend. So there's plenty to watch and see around this Misano circuit for the weekend. But that is it for the coverage for today. Thank you to everybody that joined up on Twitch and, of course, here on YouTube. The great race and Italian F4 Championship has been this weekend's absolute spectaculation. We wrapped up the championship at Italian F4. We've still got 2 races to come. I'll be live from 9:30, catching you through all the coverage through the final and, of course, the catch-up race. Race number 5 of the weekend for the Italian F4 Championship. That monster crash at Imola. But we will return tomorrow from 9:30 for the Italian F4 Championship, the final for the weekend. Until then, it's goodbye.